when you die, no one remembers what you bought, all the cars that you drove, all the followers you got. They remember who you are, not who you try to be. Ninja's always selling out, man. It's suicide to me. I'm Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast.
And I'm Guy Pigden. And who was that?
That was Apollo 18 by Dylan Ponders. The artist Dylan Ponders, the song Apollo 18.
He's really been pondering the deep questions and answering with the deepest and richest of cliches.
Yeah. What is the cliche?
Well, you know,
be who you are.
Just can't take it with you, so
yeah.
we all preoccupied with that stuff.
So,
well, because it doesn't matter when you're dead, is the answer to that. You know, they're like, well, you can't take it with you. You can't take all this stuff with you. It's like, no shit. So when you're alive, have all this cool stuff and enjoy it because you can't take it with you.
Well, no, he's actually saying the opposite though. He's not saying that. He's saying that fuck all these guys trying to get rich. No one's going to care about any of that stuff when they die.
Yeah. And
so you shouldn't sell out with your music. You've got to stay true to the streets.
I know, but really, when you're rich, you know, life is way better.
Well, I'd sell out in an instant. If someone came to me,
you've been trying to sell out for years. You've been working so hard to sell out. Get on Shortland Street, make a buffoon of yourself
in social media.
Yeah, and you've been trying so hard to sell out. It's not funny.
Yeah, well, look, it's hard work. It's bloody hard yakking to sell out. I tell you what, I would love to sell out. That's the dream. That's the ultimate dream. If somebody came to me today and was like, can you sell this product to the Sifty One Fifty, we'd have ads on the show.
Yeah.
Sell out, man.
Well, we did once upon a time have a sponsor. Shout out to my crazy ex-girlfriend. And if you are needing
loves picking a scab.
And if
loves it.
If you are needing to get your dog trained, we might suggest Dogwise. So look that up, Dogwise. For all your dog training needs, they will take care of your dog and get it back, you know, pissing everywhere, shitting everywhere, barking at people, nipping, you know, all that stuff. Dogwise will help you out. Dogwise will take care of you. So we are actually sponsored.
Well, there you go. That's the most
shout out
to
my crazy ex-girlfriend.
Double-edged ad ever. Didn't seem that sincere, but for a good job, see Dogwise.
For a good dog, see Dogwise. You want to call it Jobwise?
See what you did there.
So what's been going on, man?
Well, it's the first year. It's the first episode of the new year.
Happy fucking New Year!
Happy New Year! Yay!
It's 2019.
It is 2019. What did everyone get up to? What did you get up to, Guy?
Well, my New Year's was pretty uneventful. I basically went round to someone's house and drank a moderate amount of alcohol. And at the stroke of midnight, said Happy New Year. I hugged my sister. I hugged my brother-in-law, and we maybe had one more drink. I ate like a big bag of green onion chips. Too many chips, but there was no other food. I was really disappointed with the catering at this party.
Party on, man.
Green onion chips, man. And then, like, pretty much maybe like 15 minutes after midnight, we're like, shall we get out of here? And we're like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So that's what I did on my years. I left pretty early, but I did have quite a hilarious altercation with the taxi driver.
Yeah.
So
it's like the Uber files. It's the taxi files.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Like, yeah, I'm on the other side. Like, I know what they think I don't know, you know. And Uber has just started in Dunedin, but it hasn't really caught on because there's not enough Uber drivers. So the demand is so high that the rates aren't good.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic if you come up to Auckland.
Yeah. So why aren't the students all getting in on that then and it's all becoming Uber drivers?
They are getting in on it, but the problem is that
they're all driving, they're not out drinking.
They haven't had enough people defecting as Uber drivers to make it not be always in high demand. If it's in high demand, it's surging. If it's surging, it's costing extra money. So basically more people needed to fix. So anyway, we caught a taxi, which, you know, again, thrown straight back into the dark ages. When are they going to be there? Oh, we can't tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, any hint at it? No, we don't do that. Hey, could you maybe like call us to let us know when they do arrive? No, we don't do that. Sorry. See ya. Oh, fucking thanks a lot, guys. You make it so helpful. You make it so great that we want to continue to, you know, maintain this great taxi driver business. And so anyway, you know, the taxi driver, the first thing, Dwight, which is my brother-in-law, asked, he was like, oh, can we change the music channel? It was like this terrible country music. And he was like, absolutely not. And it was like, okay. Alrighty then. Cool. It's a good start to this trip. And then, but basically what happened is we got to the end of the trip, and I got out, and I'm on crutches at this point. I'm a cripple, you got to understand. I'm crip walking my way out of the thing. I got to, you know, I've got to. It's a big to do.
Is your crip? Do you actually walk on the crip side?
Yeah.
The right side? Is it the right side for the crip side?
Well,
do you limp on the crip side?
Do
you limp on the crip side?
The crip side is the left side.
Ah.
So
actually,
you
limp on the wrong side.
Yeah.
You're not a crip.
I'm not crip walking.
Right.
Only on the left side, because that's the crip side. According to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got out of the car. I'm crippled. I left my phone in the car. Right. So I left it in the taxi. Now, this is like a law, right? This is a rule. Like, if anyone leaves shit in my vehicle or in a taxi vehicle, it is the taxi driver's responsibility to return that. Anything that stays in their vehicle is their responsibility. That's, you know, so unfortunately I get this all the time where someone has left something in and I have to return it to them, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. And it happens all the time. There's nothing you can really do about it except obviously, you know, try and check thoroughly, but it's very hard to tell, like, if a phone's fallen down on the ground in the dark, there's no way you're going to see that. But anyway, so this happens all the time, and I left my phone there, but this is the thing, I realized as soon as I got out of the car, I was like, shit, wait, where's my phone? So we called my phone, like, 30 seconds after I got, so he'd barely got to the top of our drive. He didn't answer it. Called again. He didn't answer it. I called again. He didn't answer it. So there's this fucking phone ringing of this cripple who's just down the road. Like literally, like he's a 30-second drive back, and he hears this fucking phone ring and this cripple, and he looks down and goes, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
You could get fucked. That cripple could get fucked. That's who could get fucked right here.
Surely he was just old and had the music up.
No, because like it was sitting right there. So anyway, so and then I was like, well, maybe because then I went on. Technology's a great thing, isn't it? So then I went on the internet and I looked up, you know, how can I look up my phone? Google can look up my freaking phone. So Google pinpointed my phone moving away from my house. So I was like, okay, it's definitely in the taxi. I didn't drop it somewhere else. It's 100% there. So then there's this cool feature, which is make it ring for 5 minutes in a row.
Nice.
And hey, what do you fucking know? Old mate, old crip hating fucking taxi driver, picked up the phone. Oh yeah, what? Oh, you got my fucking phone, mate. Can I have my fucking phone, mate? You know the phone that's been ringing fucking for 10 fucking minutes straight that you've been ignoring? That's fucking what? And then the first thing he said was, oh, you can pick it up from the cop station. So now that's illegal. That's 100% illegal.
Well, no. Why does he have to? He could agree to meet you where he was, maybe, or something.
No, he can't. Like it's not like he can't. This phone, now he knows who's, like, if there was no...
Doesn't have to return it to you.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
No.
Mate.
What, you mean like as a taxi driver? Then there's... Well, so it's a rule or a law.
A law.
A law. They have to return it.
They have to make this, like, if you know who the person is, if you can make steps to return it, you have to return it. So you can't drop it off.
Yeah, but define steps.
So
for me, steps is all right. I'll drop it at the police station. You can pick it up from there.
So that's
organising for him to meet with to get his phone back.
So the first thing would happen is he'd call his taxi people and go, "Hey, I've got a." So obviously this is much simpler in the Uber app because you simply just push a thing. Someone left a thing in my car, and they get in contact with him. For him, it would be, "Hey, someone left a thing in my car. Well, I know exactly who it is, but I'm ignoring them. So, just be aware of that." And then they would go, okay, we'll see if they call in or not. If they don't, maybe you could drop it off at the cop station. But the cop station's not the first thing you do. It's not even like the third thing you do.
Yeah.
It's like that's the last step when you can't identify it and it's like, okay, I haven't heard from this person. I don't know where they're not calling their phone or it's dead. There's no way to identify this. No one's called into our taxi service. I'm dropping it off the cop station. That's what you do. But the first thing is not, you can pick it up like, I know this is yours. I know I have a responsibility to give this back to you, but you can pick it up from the cop station, Crippy. That's not going to be difficult for you at all or inconvenient than me driving 30 seconds back down the road that I parked at. So anyway, my genius brother-in-law was like, hey man, look, we really need that phone. I'll give you $100 if you come back and drop it off. And suddenly, oh yeah, sweet, cool, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
See you in 1 minute because I'm just round the fucking corner.
Yeah.
But this is the great thing because, karma doesn't really exist, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And so when he got there, Dwight was like, oh, got the phone, man? He was like, yeah, here you go. He goes, cool, thanks, man. I said I had $100. Here's $5. Hey, thanks, man. Happy New Year. You're a great dude. Hey, good, awesome job. Thank you.
Yeah.
And, the thing, what was so great about it, well, one, obviously he thought he was getting heaps of money and he didn't. And that's always great when you're an arsehole.
Yeah.
Right? But what's even greater is he had to act nice upon receiving it.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't be like, oh, no, man, you fucking owe me $95 because we didn't owe him $95. Yeah. He owed us the fucking phone that was in his care. And so he had to be like, oh, yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you. So, the moral of the story is, fuck taxi drivers.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Motherfuckers.
Yep.
Especially Dunedin taxi drivers who are at the moment the most privileged.
Yeah.
And
well, no, Uber's there.
Uber has just got there, but Uber hasn't affected them yet.
Yeah.
So they're
That's
just
strange to me.
So they're just total pricks at the moment.
Because I just figured all students would be on it and it would just be.
But it doesn't matter.
Go.
It doesn't matter how many students are on it.
Yeah.
It matters how many cars there are.
Right. And there's just not
to
enough
take
drivers.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the issue is a driver shortage.
Yeah.
So if you want to make some bank in Dunedin right now, become an Uber driver.
There you go, people. You heard it here on the Guy and Harley podcast.
Nico Medill.
Get out there.
Get out there, mate. Learn to drive. Get your license. Buy a $10,000 vehicle. You're in.
You're in. There you go. I watched some movies. I watched Annihilation, starring Princess Padme, a.k.a. Queen Amidala.
Yep.
Which was really good, I thought. Actually, enjoyed that a lot. I thought. What do you think of it?
Pretty slow going.
I was cool with it. I was cool with all of it. The pacing, the acting, the concept, the ending. It all worked for me. So
slow. And doing...
I don't like slow movies, but that didn't feel slow to me.
Doing battle with Rainbow Man.
Well, have people seen it? How long's this movie been out?
This is fucking pretty old.
It's old?
Yeah.
Annihilation? Anybody out there going to watch Annihilation?
Guys, has anyone seen Annihilation? Is anyone going to see it?
Well, you don't want to ruin... People will be like, oh, it sounds good. Harley recommended it, so we're not going to ruin it. I'm sorry. I don't like people ruining movies.
Fighting Rainbow Man.
But I don't remember any fighting a Rainbow Man, really, but...
Got Rainbow Man in a headlock at one point.
Right.
Tried to drop an elbow on him. He moved out the way.
Right.
And then he became a copy of her.
Yeah. All right. I remember that bit.
That's Rainbow Man.
Godzilla NZ is going to move to Dunedin, by the way,
and
quit their job.
He's done it. Yeah. We've helped someone out. I'm glad. The problem is it is a law of diminishing returns because everyone will shift over to Uber. Yeah. But right now you're on the boom time.
Yeah.
This is like...
Now's when you make the money.
This is in Auckland.
The golden days.
This is like Auckland circa 4 years ago.
Yeah.
This is when they were making...
The golden age for Uber drivers.
$2,000, $3,000 a week, just raking it in. So yeah, go for it, mate.
Yep. So Annihilation. highly recommend.
You
Really
give it-
enjoyed it.
Highly don't recommend. I actually tried to watch it about 4 times and fell asleep.
Really?
Like 4 times. Because
maybe
it was
it's-
so boring.
But like you were following it all right with the way it like changes the DNA and all these types of things, you know. I was like,
you
that's cool.
fucking nerd. I was following it that he was changing the DNA. That didn't make it good.
Well, it did. It was interesting.
Still slow.
and like it was a fresh depiction of an alien life form.
Mm.
You know, I hadn't really seen an alien life form that did that type of thing, and yet that is the type of thing that I might believe an alternate life form may, live in that way. So,
Well, I'm pretty sure that was the
Good.
writer-director of Ex Machina.
right, well, that explains it, because big fan of that movie.
That's why I was so excited about this. Plus,
Right, well,
Princess Padme, who is my number one girl crush
Yeah.
of all time.
yeah, yeah.
And yet...
Oh, yeah. Well, I would have thought maybe Katie Holmes circa Dawson's Creek might have been a bigger crush, but no, it's Queen Padme.
Oh, no. Like, look, Katie Holmes has a special
Queen
place.
Amidala.
Joey from Dawson's Creek has a special place in my heart at that time. But as soon as Padme came on the scene, see you later.
Yeah.
Katie Holmes getting the boot.
Mm.
Upgrade. Total upgrade.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any big crushes. I'm always just been in love with myself so much.
You've never had time to look at
Just
anyone
never
else
had
properly.
time to
Too busy admiring your own gaze.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also watched Bird Box. Again. Well, actually, hang on.
Fucking turd box.
Hang on. Back to back to Annihilation for a second.
Okay.
There was something I wanted to end on there, which was probably the expectations were different for you and me, because you knew it was the Ex Machina guy, so you were hoping a bit more of that, whereas I hadn't heard a thing about it. I didn't know anything about it, and then Sifty One Fifty listener Adam St. John says give Annihilation a go, so I turned it that night. I just whipped it on. I had no idea who was in it or anything like that, and watched it, so I had no expectations.
Well, to be honest, I think my girlfriend was like, "Hey, this is good. You should check this out." And I was like, "Cool." And then we watched it, and I fell asleep. We watched it, and I fell asleep. We watched it, I fell asleep. I was like, "When is this fucking film gonna end?" Because I keep falling asleep. This is really boring. And then Rainbow.
Yeah, but you were following the DNA stuff.
And
Though,
then
eh? You were following all that DNA stuff,
it was
right?
changing the DNA.
While you were falling asleep.
Yeah, I was following the DNA stuff because it was changed the DNA until the ultimate, which was Rainbow Man. And then, of course, Rainbow Man, was taking on her form, it was because of the DNA.
Right.
Yeah, I was all up to speed.
Okay, good.
Rainbow Man was the real threat
Yeah.
in the Tree of Life.
So if you guys
At
want to
the
check
end.
that out, you should go and check that out, because it is good.
And then she blew up
Hey,
Rainbow Man.
don't tell
She
people
tricked
spoilers.
Rainbow Man. Because
Wait,
Rainbow
don't
Man is
do
copying her.
Spoilers, man. The Sifty 150 do not appreciate it.
Okay, so let's get on to fucking... So you give that a big
Now,
thumbs up. I give
so-
that a big thumbs
yeah.
down. Now we're moving on to Bird,
Bird
Box,
Box.
a.k.a. Turd Box. But you give this one a big thumbs up as well.
This one I give a thumbs up, not like a firm erect thumbs up, but a good reasonably not that flaccid thumbs up. It was pretty good. Like kept it interesting the whole way through. It was like, okay, it was
thumbs up.
there was some bits that were a little bit silly
A thumbs up that you would be happy
or
with
dramatic.
on a Friday night after several drinks.
Yeah,
Is that the kind of
exactly.
thumbs up?
We're
that
talking a
you'd be
Friday
quite
night thumbs up.
pleased with.
Yeah, we're not talking like a Sunday morning thumbs up. We're talking a Friday night thumbs up. 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah, that's what we're talking. So yes. Anyway, Bird Box. I thought it was good. It was like the kind of original-ish concept, and
This just goes to show how fucking terrible your knowledge of movies are.
not really like a super.
The
obviously,
least original thing. There's 2 fucking films that are exactly the fucking same.
Let me. Okay, I haven't seen one of them. I haven't seen A Quiet Place. I haven't seen it. So this is my first time seeing that. And then the only other one I can think about is that silly M. Night Shyamalan one
This is
with
just
the grass.
silly. They're happening.
With the grass. Yes, but
grass
the thing
monster.
that I liked about The Happening is not the grass monster. I liked all the way that people were killing themselves. was cool and interesting. It was interesting to see like a plague, an epidemic like that could,
This is
take
exactly
us over.
the same fucking film.
That's okay. It's just a different story in a similar universe. I'm okay with that. I don't feel like that idea has been entirely explored. We can't say no more movies about viruses or anything like that make people kill themselves. Because that's dumb. It's a great idea.
And the
you should
end
be
of
able to
the
build
world.
on it.
And
Yeah, that's okay. Of course, it's
a
the end of the
group
world.
of-
People are killing themselves.
it was exactly the same.
No, it was a similar concept for sure.
Look out. Is the tree monster.
If you see it,
you
you'll kill
even have
yourself.
the wind blowing
Yeah.
in the same way.
Yeah.
So the creepy wind blows. And
Yeah,
you go,
I did
"Oh,
see it.
This
He's
monster,
coming. The creepy monster's
The creeper
here."
monster, the
Yeah.
leaf monster is coming.
Yeah.
There's a strong breeze. There's a strong breeze, everyone. Everyone, quick, put on your blindfolds. There's a strong breeze ahead.
Yeah.
Just in the same way that they were like back in they're happening. They're like, guys, there's a strong breeze. It's getting in the crack of the top of the car. Guys, I'm going to flip my car because the strong breeze came in here.
Yeah.
Fear the strong breeze.
Well-
Anytime leaves blow in
You're-
either of those films,
yeah.
people are going to die.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, there's so many dumb things about that. And of course, like, and this, I don't think this is a spoiler, but turn your ears off. Look, everyone's seen fucking Bird Box as well, Harley.
Yeah.
So, but if
I'm
you
just
haven't-
looking out for you guys.
If you haven't seen Bird Box, you just mute this for a little second. But like the whole dumb concept is like, okay, if you see these monsters, these beings, which you never see, you'll kill yourself because reasons.
Because it's some sort of terrifying thing that makes you see your worst fears, your worst nightmares are all reality, and it's like what it feels like
It's
to
a
be
bit
instantly
it's like being on
really
salvia.
depressed.
It's like a bad trip on salvia.
Salvia is fucking amazing.
It's like
Salvia
it's
is
like
awesome.
This was like bad. This was salvia for me. Was this fucking movie? So anyway, this
Random jab at Salvia.
That's the thing. Well, that's the thing. You never had a bad trip on salvia.
No.
But when I did it, I had the most horrific. Like it was seeing all my worst fears completely.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like seeing fucking monsters and being ripped from reality. And
Yeah.
all this stuff. So I had a Bird Box experience.
Well,
right?
I was getting ripped from reality, but I liked it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, hey, cool, you're in the magical realm.
No.
It was like everything that you think exists does not. And
Yeah.
everything you've ever done or ever thought is completely meaningless, which
Yes.
is actually true.
That's how it makes you feel.
But also, not in a good way. And here's all these monsters laughing at you.
But it's in a good
with
monsters laughing at you.
with zippers for mouths and eyes.
Is
So
that
when they
what you
open
saw?
their mouths,
Is
like
that what
they're
you
like
saw?
zippers, and like when they put your hand, they're like you see them put their hand on something and it zippers into the fucking thing, and but it wasn't like you've been like I said, you'd be ripped from reality. Who gives a fuck? But I mean, you'd be ripped from reality like you were dead. So you're a dead person, and you saw some of these things floating past of like the things you did or the things which were completely inconsequential and meaningless, and you were dead. And then there's these zipper monsters.
Yeah.
So not a good trip.
But at the end of it all, you've got something to reflect upon.
The only thing that I reflect
About your perception of reality.
There was nothing that I reflected upon in any fond way, or any like there was no revelation.
Yeah.
Except you go, man, if that is what like coming close to death is like. So if death is the next step beyond that.
Yeah.
That is the most horrific and terrifying thing that anyone could ever experience, and you would never ever want to experience. And we all have that to look forward to.
Right.
Brilliant. Thank you, Salvia. Thank you for that. That is so amazing. I'm so enlightened. Oh, fantastic.
Okay, but for me, on the other hand, it didn't seem that bad. And if that was the precursor to death didn't seem so bad, like it was crazy. Absolutely. It was all insane. But I felt like overall positive from it.
Ugh. Anyway, back to Bird Box.
Yeah.
Which was also my salvia. If we all had to watch this before we died, it's a grim ending for us all.
Yeah.
Because there's this big thing where it's like, hey, so if you see these monsters, you're gonna kill yourself. And it's like, cool. Well, first thing, all the blind people are sweet, right? There's a very fucking first thing you think.
Yeah.
All the blind people are totally sweet, right?
Really? That's the first thing you thought?
Yes, because I was like, they can't see anything. So they can't see these monsters because they're fucking blind.
That was the first thing you thought?
So they're literally the first thing I was like, cool, where's all the blind people? Like, I was like, literally, like, you would be seeing blind people everywhere because they'd all be alive chilling. They'd be out on the porch going, you guys right? It sounds like a hell of a commotion going on. You good? Fucking blind people. And guess what? Yeah, they are fucking fine. Which is a huge flaw of this monster's plan.
But, okay, yeah, absolutely. But all plans have flaws.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll make his way through it. He'll make his way, you know, he'll figure it out, I'm sure.
The monster?
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus. What about blind people?
He's already
blind people
collapsed the society.
How come no one's ever how come no one ever saw a blind person right up until...
Well, I mean, how many blind people do you see around?
Well, I would say that I would see, like, at the end of the... Like, in one of these post-apocalyptic situations, they'd be way more prevalent because they'd be the ones surviving.
In that particular...
Scenario,
yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, they'd be surviving from the monster, but, you know...
The other people would be trying to kill them.
It would be...
But they're fucking blind too because they got all the blindfolds on all the time. The blind people would be just having the time of their lives.
Yeah, but what about during the initial panic when nobody really knows what's going on and they're just carnage ensues on the streets?
Sure.
You know, and like it's going to be difficult for blind people to protect themselves from, you know, rampaging humans and just looters and, you know, so on. So they would have difficulty getting through that filter. But if they made it through that initial chaos filter, you know, at the beginning of the apocalypse, then they would really sort of come into their own.
They'd flourish.
In that environment, they would flourish.
But also,
humans would just be blind from then on, like because blind people would be.
Yeah, but also it's kind of
it'd be the next evolution.
Well, also not even not even the next evolution. It's like, okay, so now anytime you have a kid, you just fuck up their eyes.
Yeah,
problem solved.
True, that too.
Stupid.
Yeah,
stupid.
No, I'm okay with all of that. And I'm okay with all of that.
And also, like, I don't know, just all of it was like, hey, go down these rapids, put your blindfold on in case you see the beasties.
Okay. okay.
Hard. But anyway, the biggest thing I thought, like, all of the takeaway of that is like, okay, this film has been done 5 million times better in A Quiet Place just recently.
I haven't seen
which you
that.
haven't seen.
So no spoilers.
So that's cool, but I'm just saying it has. So that's a big, like, black mark against Turd Box. And then you have the added thing that it's just a freaking remake of The Happening, which is arguably one of Shyamalan's worst films. So we're remaking his worst film with the wind monsters and committing suicide? And you're okay with this?
Yeah, well, because it was for me, it was a fine, like, continuation of the universe type thing. You know, like, it's fine with me.
It was a great sequel to The Happening. It was a wonderful sequel.
It was an excellent sequel.
It was an excellent sequel.
No, well, like, I was
one of the
okay
worst
with it.
films.
Okay, I don't mind if something is derivative if it's done, you know, well. And I feel like that was done well enough for me. And I haven't seen it a million times as you might have. And I
haven't seen it a million times.
No, the story, the idea.
Yes, I did see that very recently.
And the thing I liked about The Happening was the people killing themselves and that concept. So I'm happy to see it explored again.
Well, yeah. So that's a thumbs up from you, thumbs down from me.
Yep. I stand by my thumbs up. My Friday night 2 a.m. thumbs up. I also watched, I got into Black Mirror, but I haven't done the movie yet, the Pick a Path movie. But
I did want to talk about that.
Well, no spoilers.
No spoilers. I don't want to give any spoilers, but essentially, if you don't know what we're talking about, which you'd be living under a rock if you didn't, but it's called Bandersnatch, and it's basically a pick a path movie. So you're watching the movie, and then it goes, should you have this cereal? What flavor cereal do you want? You pick it using your controller.
Fuck, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
No, it's done very, like, easily.
Yeah.
And then you pick it, and then things change according to your choices.
I don't like that weight of that responsibility.
Well, that's what makes it great.
I'll fuck up my karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, but like that's what's great about it is trying to figure out like what choices you can make that will affect the final outcome or the ending, and what choices will sort of deviate the story somewhere else, and what choices will just lead to dead ends, and what choices are totally meaningless. So I got pretty obsessed with this thing. But, you know, the other thing that I thought really struck me was that we fucking had this idea.
Oh, we did it. Yeah, we
6 years ago.
Yeah,
and
more.
we pitched it.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, well, we would like to do that if you give us all the rights. And we were kind of like, well, we don't want to give you all the rights.
Yeah.
And then we tried to negotiate it. We were like, kind of like, so instead of all the rights, what about we retain some of the rights? And they're like, no, all the rights.
Yeah.
All the rights.
Yeah.
And we'd already had a bad experience with this producer. So we were kind of like, no, it's okay. We'll just leave that. We'll shelve that idea.
Was that Trevor Ford?
Yeah. We'll shelve that idea until it becomes incredibly successful in 6 years, and we rue the day that we were once again very ahead of the curve, much like our web series, The Project, when no web series in New Zealand fucking existed, but no one gives a shit. We're pioneers, but nobody gives a flying fuck.
It's because we repeatedly fail to market ourselves properly.
Well, it's also because that one, obviously, we didn't make. The genius, our pickup path was called How to Pick Up Chicks or something like that.
Yeah. It wasn't actually called that. But that's what it was about.
Or How to Date Girls or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, the concept was that Harley Neville was a schlubby, bald loser who you controlled through dates with women.
Yeah.
And you asked what choices he would make to try and basically get them into the old bed.
Or what, actually go all the way to sex? Wasn't it just like seduce?
Yeah, well, what do you do
at
the end of seducing them?
Well, you wouldn't never say it was trying to have sex with them. It's got to be,
you're trying to have a success.
Win their hearts.
Yeah, by having sex with them.
All right.
I mean, it was like Leisure Suit Larry, except real life, and Harley was the protagonist.
Rapier.
Well, no, because the idea is you're trying to woo these girls.
Yeah.
You're not trying to slip a friggin' thing in their drink.
No.
So, the idea was, what is the charming thing to say? Or do you just pick the dumb thing to say?
Yeah.
Maybe the dumb thing works.
Yeah.
Because that's the beauty of dating women. You don't really know. Sometimes things seem very evident of what you should do.
Yeah.
And then other times you have a breakfast faux pas.
Yeah.
Which you really never even really knew was happening. You never knew you were making that faux pas at breakfast, but you made it.
Right. So that's what the show's about. Good. Well, it's strange that we didn't get it.
I have some Sifty
that we didn't
150 list of feedback. They wanted to know what the breakfast faux pas was. Are you ready to share that yet? Come on.
No. Nah, not yet.
Give it another couple months.
Yeah, exactly. Give it a couple of months. It'll come out in the wash.
The breakup is too fresh.
Yep.
The faux pas is too fresh in his mind. He's still dwelling on it, wondering if he could have done things differently. The answer is yes, he could have.
Back to Black Mirror.
So anyway, I just think it's funny that we occasionally have these ideas that seem quite forward-thinking, and then nothing ever happens with them, or...
Well, we've got a name for this, man. We had a name for this ever since we were 15, probably. It's the old Pigville No Cigar. Pigville close but no cigar. That's what we always used to say. The old Pigville close but no cigar. Because we got that a lot. We came second in a lot of shit. Always the runner-up. Never the bridesmaid.
No, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, isn't it?
Well, I said two different sentences. But yeah, that's it.
Mm.
And so I also watched... anyway, I've been watching...
Highly recommend Bandersnatch. Give that thumbs up.
Yeah, and I'll give that a hoon. But so I've been watching the series anyway, and I watched Playtest, Season 3, Episode 2 of Black Mirror Playtest, and it was real awesome. It was probably my favourite one. It's the best one I've ever seen, I reckon.
Congratulations, you fucking pathetic nerd that is just caught up with something that's been around for fucking as long as our idea for that other concept has been.
Yeah, well, look...
Everyone... This happens all the time where... I go, man, there was this awesome thing. You should really check it out. And completely ignored. And then on the podcast 4 years later, hey, have you heard about this cool new show called Black Mirror? You know, with these interesting sci-fi ideas. Yes, because I told you about it and encouraged you to watch it and did my very best.
Okay, but Guy, I'm not
get you to do this, and then fucking nothing.
Listen, I've known what it is, and I did check it out, but none of them really captured me too much. You know, like they were okay, and I was like, I'll get through that eventually. And I've just slowly worked my way through the seasons, like over the years, just watching one or two here and there. And so I'm finally starting to get caught up. And so I saw Playtest. It was the best, most well-crafted story I've seen in ages.
Which one is Playtest?
It's one where they implant a chip into the back of the guy's neck so that he can. That's going to be way more specific with that show. He can see he can see video games in 3D, and so and it seems like it's actually here, but it's just his eyes. It's a chip in the back of his head, and then what they do is they put him into a survival horror game.
Oh, that one,
yeah.
I thought that was just okay compared to some of the lofty highs of some of the other ones.
Well, maybe there's some even better ones on the way. They're all pretty damn good though. But anyway, I enjoyed that. So anyway, go check it out. And then of course, I went and watched. I went to the cinema by myself. It cost me $45 freaking bucks for parking and a ticket and an ice cream. Fuck it, couldn't believe it. Anyway, I watched Hurricane, which is a thrilling story about a squadron of Polish fighter pilots who joined the RAF in order to fight the Wehrmacht. Oh no, well the Wehrmacht too, but the Luftwaffe during World War II. And it was really good. It was good. It stars the guy, the bad bastard from the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones, but whose name escapes me at the moment. So yeah. Hurricane. Go check it out.
Anyone still awake after that synopsis? You guys still with us?
It was actually pretty good.
Well, I've been catching up on a lot of things. This is the movie review episode.
Apparently. Well, it makes sense, though, because you've been sitting on your ass for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Presumably doing a lot of watching of things.
Yeah, I've been really, so last time we talked, well, actually we talked on New Year's, but last time we did a podcast, I was basically housebound, and I was, I really couldn't do much of anything.
Speaking of housebound, Gerard Johnson goes to my gym.
Should ask him what he's working on.
Well, I don't know what he looks like, so I do intend, though, to ask him at some point. When I figure out who he is, I intend to go up and introduce myself.
Well, how do you know that he...
I have my sources, my sources within the gym community.
Okay.
So,
but yeah, so, and in fact, Harley did ask if should we do another podcast, and I was like,
that's the director of the movie Housebound. Just to clarify there.
I was like, well, no, because I haven't been doing anything.
I did. I tried to. I was like, the Sifty One 150 will be baying for blood.
I don't have anything. Nothing,
do you want to do a second Skype special?
Nothing to report. But I have been watching a lot of things, so I do have just one review. I am the pretty thing that lives in the house.
Well, we know that, but what's the name of the movie? You silly.
Dad joke number 1 for Harley level, if you're keeping score. Terrible film. Netflix does have a problem. Because obviously what I do is I look up top horror films on Netflix, top action films on Netflix, top films on Netflix. He's still tickled by that.
That dad joke.
Terrible joke. And they give you these things and they're like, yeah, this is actually pretty great. And it's like, great by Netflix standards is really not great most of the time.
Yeah.
I really thought it, in my head, and I do feel like this is maybe true of their TV shows, but of their movies still, the bar is really quite low. So a great Netflix film is like a pretty mediocre any other type of film, but it's on Netflix and it's free, and this is the best they have, so it's great.
Well, my experience with Netflix films so far has been basically that they've all been awesome.
Freaking turd box.
Every Netflix original that I've seen has been pretty good so far.
Hush is a great Netflix original.
What's that about?
That's a slasher film about a girl who is deaf. So she's deaf and
Are you gonna
intruder comes into her house. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But obviously that presents a whole different dynamic for that whole environment and genre. And a whole set of like, you know, rather than just they commit suicide when they see the wind monster rehash.
Yeah.
This is actually like, hey, a truly original take on something.
Okay.
So, yeah, check that out. But anyway, I am the pretty thing that lives in the house. I just wanted to have a little rant off on this for 1 second. So, to me, a horror film involves, like, tension, suspense, you know, good character development so you care about the characters, and then payoff of some scares and some freaky shit, right? That's my basic criteria for what I think a good horror film is. And I'm going to spoil this film because no one should watch this film.
Wait, what's it called?
I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
Okay, I'm definitely not watching that.
So essentially it's about a caregiver who moves into a house with an old lady author who is dying. And she's there to take care of her when she's dying. And
the spoiler's coming, people.
And essentially it turns out that this house is haunted by the ghost of someone that lived there before that this author wrote about in her most successful book. And so you go, okay, cool. So the ghost's going to be running rampant shortly. Like any minute, these ghosts could come out of the woodwork and just fuck shit up for this lady, and she's going to be terrorized. You know what? That doesn't happen. So there's all this meandering thing. She starts reading the book, blah, blah, blah. And then right at the end, the ghost appears. It's not a freaky ghost. It's a beautiful, beautiful, young, Victorian era lady.
Oh, it was a sexy ghost.
It's a sexy ghost, right?
Right.
So the sexy
ghost...
Well,
that's different. That's not even scary.
The sexy ghost creeps up behind her. She turns around.
Yeah.
She sees the sexy ghost and she goes, and then she just dies of fright.
Yeah.
And then becomes a ghost who lives in the house. She's the pretty thing that lives in the house, and she's the ghost now too.
Right.
And so anyway, that's it. That's the end of the film.
Yeah.
And there's one encounter with the ghost. And
so hang on, is that the twist? Is the twist that someone is the protagonist is actually the ghost?
I think that's the twist if you conceptually think about the title.
Yeah.
It's not really a twist.
Right.
Because that could also describe the ghost that already lived there, the beautiful ghost that scares people to death because they are so awestruck by her beauty that they die of fright.
Yeah.
So she just dies, and then she's a ghost too. But like she doesn't haunt anyone. And then that's the end of the film. Fucking terrible.
Well, why did you watch that? That doesn't sound like something I would want to put on. Why would you select that?
Well,
or did you watch it because has it got some sort of good reputation or something? Yeah,
so it was one of these top 10 horror films on Netflix.
Okay.
And also, like the concept to me seems cool. Like a dying author, someone comes in and take care, and then spooky shit happens in the house. That's a great premise as far as I'm concerned. If you do anything with it, don't just have a sexy ghost killing people at like the 99% mark of the film for no reason. It was just weird because she was just like, I'd kind of get it if the ghost was like, had all bug eyes and like super freaky.
But it was a sexy one.
But it was just a sexy ghost.
All right. Good. So I've got a few shout outs here.
Okay.
Oh, you done with that?
Yeah, that's the end of my
review.
That rant? Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Thumbs
down on that one.
Yeah.
So a couple of shout outs here now. Bernie Rao, director of My Lover, My Lazy Boy, Sifty 150 listener. His film is going to be a cult classic. Big hit, I tell you. Big hit. I went down to Wellington for the...
Big hit, I tells ya. Big hit.
I went down to Wellington for a cast and crew screening of My Lover, My Lazy Boy, which long-term listeners will know I went down there last year to shoot it, and that I got the gig through Bernie being a listener of the podcast, and I said on the podcast that I wanted to be cast in your guys' films, and then I did Bernie's one, another guy in Hamilton whose name escapes me at the moment, and maybe Logan Marshall's film as well came about because of that, I'm not sure. So yeah, Sifty 150, movers and shakers. Anyway, Bernie Rao's film, My Love of My Lazy Boy. I went down and watched it. It was pretty bloody awesome. And he says here that now, so he's a Kiwi, but he's originally from Portugal, and he says he said that what he enjoys about the podcast is the Kiwiana of it. He says that we're both very Kiwi and that our humour is offbeat, which is funny because most of our jokes are about beating off. And so thanks for the feedback, Bernie. The Sifty 150 listener, Guy McDowell, all right, writer of the very excellent short film Feeder, which do you remember that film, Guy? It's about a muse, about a muse, a short film about a muse that did really well at Show Me Shorts Film Festival a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And
it stars maybe that guy Cohen, but I'm not sure. Cohen Holloway, maybe. I think it's him. Anyway.
Yeah.
As a muse, nobody's, I guess, probably none of us is going to see it.
You have to feed it.
You have to feed the muse to get your creativity.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great film.
It was a great film. So anyway, he is a Sifty One.
Didn't it win Best Film?
It might have.
May have. Anyway, yeah.
It was a great film. I actually really loved it. It was my favourite. And then, as it happens, Guy McDowell is a Sifty 150 listener. We got in touch at around the time that his film was out, and I told him about the show, and he tuned in, and he has continued to listen this entire time. He's been watching. He's been waiting in the shadows for this time right now when I am going to
shout him out.
So shout out to you, Guy McDowell.
An awesome film, man. Congratulations.
Shout out Heath Rose, 5150 listener. Can't remember if I shouted him out. Now, shout out Hooter Moss, okay, a.k.a. Darren, bloody legend. He's my big cousin, and he told me the other day that he has listened to the last 2 years' worth of the show. But instead of listening to the latest episode and working his way back, he started 2 years back on episode 87, Rogue One Stories, and started working his way forward, and now he's almost up to date. So eventually he's going to reach this episode and hear this. So thanks, mate. And Huda is a subscriber on Spotify, so if you other guys out there use Spotify, then get into it, get on it, subscribe. And also his favourite segments are Buzz on Bumble and the Uber Files. Good feedback. One more piece of feedback here from Jamie Oxley in regard to saying that 5 of the Sifty 150 wanted to fuck me, including Jamie Oxley, which is something I said last week about the 5 people wanting to follow my OnlyFans account. That's up to 7 people now. That's $35 a month for just being a cam girl. And so anyway, Jamie Oxley says, cheers for the shout out. I'm sorry, Harley, but I don't fuck. I make love. And I'd rather make love to Guy while stroking his mullet and holding his sore hip.
Thank you, Jamie. That's very nice of you.
Yeah. And that's fair enough too, Jamie, because I can understand why. The other day, I took a photo of his hip for the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley, and in the process, I caught a glimpse of his wang from the side. And let me tell you, that was one mighty shaft. All right? It was like the handle of a 2-handed battle axe, okay? That thing was monstrous. All right, Jamie, it was truly gargantuan. It almost looked like an undiagnosed case of localized gigantism. It was impressive, Jamie, so I don't blame you, mate.
I'd love to agree with you on that, but those what is that they're saying? It's I think it's rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Is a famous saying. Rumors of my wang have been greatly exaggerated. I also got in a little bit of trouble from my girlfriend for that.
For that photo? Because she showed a bit of side shaft.
Well, yeah, she was.
It's on our Facebook, facebook.com/Guy and Harley.
Harley took the photo and he showed it to me. And I was like, looks fine, looks all good.
I mean, I saw it, but I was like, it's just funny. It's fine.
But what I saw was like it on a small iPhone screen.
Yeah.
But then when I was scrolling through it on Facebook, I was like, wow, that's actually a little... That's not really...
It's quite saucy.
Was not my intention to... So I had to hide it from my timeline.
Oh, yeah?
Hide it from my thing. Yeah. Shout out to my beautiful...
You hid it from your timeline. That was a great photo. People loved that.
Yeah.
A lot of people saw that.
Yeah.
A lot of people saw that.
Yeah, it was just a little bit more. Always look at your always zoom in on your photos, people.
So guy put his dick on Facebook.
But that does lead into a kind of a funny story. So speaking of my beautiful girlfriend, she is actually coming over to visit in about a week's time. Now, I'm sort of coming to the end of my first leg of recovery for my hip. So my hip is going to be assessed at the 6-week mark, which is actually February 4th. So that's when a specialist is going to look at my hip and go, it's been healing well, or it hasn't healed well, or what have you been doing, man? You're not really following our instructions, or oh, this is great, you've made an amazing recovery, and we're so pleased with the progress, you can go back to doing all your normal things. I don't know what they're going to say, but the thing is, my girlfriend's coming over. Now, I was not anticipating my girlfriend coming over. Yeah, what I thought is that she's going to come over at a later date when I'm feeling 100% and the hip is good. Right now, I'm far from 100%.
Yeah, there could be some...
And the hip.
Some issues.
The hip, she ain't good.
Well, the hip is a part of your body. It's a hinging part of your body.
Yep.
A hinging sort of motion can be made from the hip.
And it's used...
Which is important.
Primarily, the hip is used, probably gets the most use in what we know as sex.
That particular pastime.
Yeah. So... It really, that's probably
So we've got some concerns here about the upcoming visit and your ability to perform.
Exactly. So what I have to do and what I've done is I've made an inquiry.
No wanking. You've stopped wanking already. You're just going to be edging from now until she gets here. And that's your plan.
No, I've made an inquiry to orthopedics because I need to know.
Yeah.
Is it safe for me to have sex?
Yeah.
Is this going to be possible? Or is this going to create irreparable damage? What are the stakes we're talking about here?
Yeah.
So I have literally had to consult a specialist to check if I can have sex.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for them to call me back.
Well, they haven't told you yet.
So no, because you have to leave a message and then they call you back. And, it's the house system, so they can call me back today.
Well, look, mate, you're just going to have to be super careful. Look,
I thought you were going to say, look, mate, you're just going to have to starfish it.
well, more or less, but I don't even know. Yeah, you just have to figure a position that works.
It's problematic, right? Because even if you're trying to stay as still as you can, and they're on top,
they're still wiggling around.
They're going for gold, riding around. They're still pushing your hip.
Yeah, no. But look, obviously, that's not the type of sex you're going to be having. Okay, you're going to be having something. Have you ever had to have sex in a public place or a very quiet place where maybe there's other people in the vicinity, so you got to be like super quiet? Have you had sex in a very, very say like, for example, a tent with somebody in the next tent or something like that? I mean, I'll tell you what I'm talking about is I'm talking about cabins and cruise ships. In cabins and cruise ships, sometimes there are situations where you've got to have, there's a lot of people in the same environment. You've got to have some quite quiet sex. Yeah. And so, have you ever had that?
Yep. I think so.
Because let me tell you, if you want to. You can be very quiet and you can both have a very nice time without any real movement. You're kind of just there, just soaking it up, and just kind of very small movements, very quiet, small movements, that can work too. So that's obviously what you guys are going to have to do. But, it sounds quite nice if you ask me. Instead of all that pounding away, that frantic energy burning, pounding away, you just bloody...
Instead of getting out of breath?
Yeah, you just kind of take it easy. Just go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Barely move if you have to. No problem.
Well, we'll see.
I reckon you'll find the right position. It'll be your right leg straight on the bed, you on top, your right leg straight out behind you, just missionary basically, but your leg and most of your weight on your left leg and your arms, your big guns.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, I reckon that's what it might be if you're on top anyway.
Yeah,
only when you're on top, obviously.
So I'm hoping for the specialist to get back to me tomorrow.
So has everybody visualised that now? If you'd like help visualising that, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. Go see the picture of Guy's side shaft, which he agreed to put on the internet.
How's that look? Looks good. Yeah, get it up there. It's cool.
Well, to be honest, when that happened though, I was like, "What do you think of that?" And you were like, "Yeah, it's cool." And I was like, "Man, Guy's even cooler than I thought he was." Honestly, I was like, "That's cool. This motherfucker doesn't give a fuck." I was like, "All right, awesome." Because Guy was like, "Do you want to get a photo of the scar?" It was actually Guy's idea,
yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." And then he whipped his pants off and started doing the helicopter. But I managed to get the photo before he whipped it out, and you just see that side shaft there. But yeah, when you said you were cool with it, I was like, "Oh, cool. That's a cool motherfucker." I looked up to that. I appreciated that.
I should have maybe looked a little closer.
Now everyone's been saying that it's time for a new Bond, right? Like there's talk of like the next Bond being like a black man or a woman, maybe. And to that I say bullshit. Okay, the next Bond should be a fucking shiny. All right, I'm sick of all this shiny discrimination in Hollywood. All right. Yeah. I know you're a left-handed guy, but do you have any idea what it's like to go through life as an oppressed minority? Okay, I do. All right. I do. No, so I've had enough. The next Bonds are shiny.
A short, bald guy.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, man. I don't think they'll even go for it. There'll be a female Bond before there's a bald Bond. That's how much stigma and oppression is against your people. Yeah.
My people.
Yeah, it's a cold world.
Yeah. So I was at the hot pools, right, with my brother who's 19 and in the army, and he's all jacked, and there I was, just schlubby dad, like schlubby dadding around. He's 19, right? He's fucking totally jacked. And then there was me, like a 35, hairy as fuck, the hairiest man, obviously, in the entire pool, as I am in any pool, including the Gene pool. And so, and so anyway, I was full power hairy, right? While I was there, not. He's got a few strays on his back that I don't know if he knows about, but not really. Like he's got a little bit of just a normal human amount.
Just a normal human being.
Just a normal human.
Just a normal amount. Natural human being.
Yeah. And so anyway, while I was at the hot pools anyway, though, I saw this one guy that was there, and he had one hairy shoulder. So it was his right pec and his right shoulder were just as hairy as mine, right? A good several inches of hair in every direction, but the rest of his body wasn't hairy, including his other shoulder. So he just had this one smudge of hair from his right pec to his right shoulder, and I was like, ooh, what a disgusting freak. Because say what you want about me, okay? But back, shoulders, chest, stomach, they're completely uniform, okay? There's only one bald spot on my entire body, and it's the one place you wouldn't want it.
You're nothing if not consistent.
Exactly.
Well, what the answer here is he's going through the hair removal thing, isn't it?
Well, I don't imagine you'd do it in patches, would you?
Well, you have to, don't you?
Is that how it works? You just get a few patches done. Surely you'd start with both shoulders, though, right?
Well, they're probably working on that.
Yeah. No, to be honest, it looked pretty natural.
Quite expensive.
It looked pretty natural, and it didn't look like he cared. So I think it was just that was the pattern he was blessed with. You walk past
him, and you're like, "You're disgusting. Look at you, you're disgusting."
I was like, "You're half the man I am."
That's funny that you're hanging out with your rip brother, though.
Yeah. No, he's looking good. He's a handsome man, Connor, and he's a Patreon supporter too. Patreon.com/Pigville. So thank you very much to Connor. What else you got for us?
Well, are you going to mention your journey to Titty Cove?
Oh, I did go. So as long-term listeners will know, there is a beach I frequent in the summer where I've had exceptional luck of just happening to end up between groups of beautiful topless women. It's not my fault. The only thing I do is go there and like chill out on the sand. I don't
wait for 6 hours.
Wait for
hoping
6
that
hours.
someone will show up.
No, look, I guess I just have good luck at Titty Cove. And so I went there today. Alas, nothing to report today. There was a group of Chads, like super Chads, that were there, sort of just a few meters away from me, and then a family of royals came down, and their child was speaking like this while he was complaining, very articulate, and then the lord of the land, who has his property opening up onto the beach. It's like a beach in a very affluent suburb, and there's houses right up to the waterfront, and it must be incredibly, like, the houses there must be millions and millions and millions of dollars. Anyway, the Lord of the Land came down and sat next to me for a while as well, but no titties to report.
No titties in the cove.
No.
Harley said that he was going to gloat if there was titties.
But there was not a single solitary memory.
Because he invited me there, and I said, "No, mate, I've got to do some fucking work." Because unlike you, I'm not dedicating my life to the hopes of maybe seeing a fucking titty on a beach. I've got shit to do.
Hey, that's
got some fucking editing to do.
Listen,
actually.
That's not the only reason I went there. Okay, as it happens.
Well, it's a shitty beach apart from that.
I like the beach. I think it's cool. It's a cool wee beach. It feels like it's in a different city or a different country. It's cool. And so I went there today anyway because it was going to be my last chance, because Operation GoPro, I've got a whole bunch of work coming up over the next little while. I've got 17 days work in the next 20 days. And after the drought that was Christmas, I can tell you that it's much needed. So
the work.
Yeah, the work. Operation GoPro.
No other droughts over Christmas.
No, there's been plenty of droughts. There's been droughts all around, really.
Do you want to talk about your New Year's or
no?
Yeah, but you've been a little reluctant to share recently on the podcast.
I just partied with Adam St. John, Sifty One Fifty listener.
That it, eh?
Yep, at a cool apartment on the waterfront.
Oh yeah.
No, it was all good. Good night out, that one. Good start to the year. It's a good start to the year.
Who were you hanging?
Didn't spend any money.
Yeah.
Yep, Adam St. John. Anyway, so what else have you got?
Well, well, we should give some updates. So, if you're wondering about Harrow, our web series turned short film, just putting the finishing touches on that. We're doing some ADR tomorrow about that, and we just need to do a little bit of sound mixing, and then that's going out to festivals, and we're gonna see if a 24-minute short film can have any kind of success.
Well, let's talk about that for the listeners. See, so the big concern for me is that it's too long, and it's not that it matters. We still submit it anyway and just see how it does, obviously. And I think it'll get into some festivals, and I do have. Well, I think it'll do all right. And I think it'll get into some, but I think the big problem is 24 minutes is a scheduling issue. It's too long, and I don't know if it's good enough to justify its length, basically. And it should, and they'll be wanting to put in 3 8-minute films instead of one 24-minute film.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting conundrum because it's not actually. So we had the web series, which we were not entirely happy about the edit of, and so, but we always had this in our sort of back pocket, is that we could make a short film out of it. So, normally conventional thinking would suggest that you would make it shorter when you're doing a short film. But what actually happened is it is maybe a minute shorter than the original, or maybe almost exactly the same, which is like about exactly the same amount of minutes as the web series was. Yeah. But just different things have been put in. And different things have been taken out, and I thought long and hard about, like, well, is there a way to make it like a proper short film length of like 15 minutes, I didn't see a way.
Right.
I mean, there's obviously a way. There's always a way.
Yeah, maybe we should have hacked and slashed a little more.
There's always a way, but the problem with the web series is that it's all it is being hacked and slashed, and it is kind of a big, it's kind of convoluted, and you're kind of like, what the fuck's going on? Who the fuck are these people? What the fuck is happening? I have no idea. Oh, some stuff is happening and you're meant to care and you don't. And, you know, it's very difficult to sort of establish character and all that. So, because look, I'm not averse to short things being short or shorter, or anything like that. But I guess the intention of this short is more trying to make like, okay, well, this is the ideal form of it. Unfortunately, it's 24 minutes. This is the ideal representation of it. The 14 or 15 minute one is just a big bunch of nonsense and crazy shit happening. Which was the problem. Like, context is everything. Like, if you don't kind of establish context and dynamics, then when the shit hits the fan, well, even shit hitting the fan has less relevance and less meaning. So, you know, I just couldn't see. I don't know. I was just, I mean, yes, you could have made a 14-minute version. I just think the 14-minute version is terrible, and the 24-minute version is good. But it is 24 minutes.
Well, I guess we will see. Shout out Sifty One Fifty listener Ben Fowler.
Shout out to Ben. Thank you for doing a great job on that edit. But yeah, like, I mean, I look at that short and feel quite good about it when I sit down and watch it. I don't know if other people will have that feeling when they sit down and watch it. Yeah.
I guess we'll see. And, we're eventually, hopefully we can figure out how to get it on the internet as well, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope.
But speaking of something which is a more normal length, Older, which I believe is currently 93 minutes and something 40 seconds, is getting very close to being almost finished.
Older is our second feature film that we've been saying that for 5 years about. We shot it in 2013. It's now 2019. 6 years, I guess, plus the pre-production and the writing.
Do the math.
But 2019, year of the Pigville. This year it should be out.
Well, yeah, like, basically the only thing now left to do on it is, and I did sort of rewatch and go through and make a few notes and stuff, but the only thing now left to do is the sound mix. Everything else is done. We've almost got all the contracts we need. Harley's still working on that.
I'm hard at work, people.
He's already had 5 years.
I'm hard at work, people. I'm getting it done.
I'm unemployed.
I'm getting it done. Hey, I got 17 days work in the next 20 days, and more than 17 jobs within those 17 days. There's some days I'm doing 2 jobs.
But yeah, it's definitely, it's at the point now where and that's the also thing is, like, it's a small film, it's an indie film, it's an indie drama, right? And it's got no names in it unless you consider Guy Pignon and Harley Neville names.
Yeah,
which no one does.
Well, it depends if you're in the hair meme circuit or not.
Right.
You know, if you're on the hair meme circuit,
or you're a fan of Alex Savage Pro Wrestler.
Yeah, if you're one of the 168 people that have liked on the Facebook page,
then
go ahead and go find that, people. How do they find it?
What, Alex Savage?
Yeah.
I think you write in Alex Savage Pro Wrestler and you'll find my close personal friend.
Okay.
But who was also, I don't think, did we mention this? That he was voted breakthrough
no, you
star.
didn't. You haven't talked about that. This is big news. Big news. This is 2019, off to a big start. For all of us, really.
Yeah. So Alex Savage was voted breakthrough star of 2018.
That's a big deal.
And he was also ranked
for New Zealand, for the New Zealand wrestling scene.
Yeah,
he is the number one breakthrough star of the year, as voted by
the people that write about pro wrestling in New Zealand.
The media. We
were also voted the media, by journalists. We were also, or Alex Savage and his tag partner Will Stone were also voted number 3 tag team in New Zealand. Number 3 with a bullet, baby.
Well, look, Guy, I got to say, I'm proud of you and your domination of the wrestling scene. Even though I personally think wrestling is fiercely uncool, I think it's very cool that you have pursued something that you love and that you've dominated it. And I am, especially, I think it's especially cool that it was a long-term dream of yours, a very long-term dream of yours. Yeah. So I applaud you, sir.
Well, thank you. Breakthrough star of 2018 with several memorable feuds, including that against Graham Hughes, which culminated in Alex Savage winning the Jackson Shield title. Although his reign was only short-lived, he only made 2 successful defenses before he was beaten. Some would say in a cowardly fashion. In the second match, he had to fight 2 matches in the same night. And unfortunately was unsuccessful, losing to James Shaw, pro wrestler, one of the greatest in New Zealand, who has 19 different championships at different times in his career. But I got a little bit sidetracked because I was talking about Alder. So Alder's in this place where it is not quite finished because we still need to do the sound mix. Now, how are we going to do the sound mix? Well, probably applying for a post-production grant through the NZFC is the most likely outcome. We just have to fill out a very thorough application, which has a lot of questions that we don't really know the answer to. And that's kind of the problem, because it's like, well, what's this, and this? And the answer is, we don't know, we have to see. Yeah. You know? The answer is, well, we can't tell you, we can't tell you exactly what our distribution method is, because we might get a sales agent, in which case it'll be distributed for them, but we might not, and it might go through what they call a distribution aggregator, who basically takes a film, encodes it, and they're your link to iTunes, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Google, Xbox, so they're the thing, they're the sort of, and you just basically, they just do everything, but it's very good because you kind of retain all the ownership of it, unlike giving it to a sales agent who then kind of takes it away from you to some degree.
Yeah.
You retain all control and you go, look, I want to release in New Zealand, Australia, and America on this day. And if it's gotten into iTunes, which they're, confident if they take you on that will happen, then you can do that.
Yeah.
And that's actually great. For a film like ours, that's probably the best method. And then us driving all our social media, all our 150,
all of the Sifty 150 listeners,
because this is the thing,
we'll hopefully go and watch that.
If in New Zealand, or I get but
we're going to do a show. Here's what we're going to do: when the movie is out, at some point, it won't be the premiere, but we will sit down and watch it live on the stream and with you guys. But you have to pay to get in, probably.
Well,
we'll do a show.
Basically, we want to drive them to iTunes to get it on.
Well,
iTunes.
Not the Sifty 150 though. They can listen to us.
Well, no, but we want the Sifty 150 to all buy it on
there.
iTunes. Because that's the thing. So, the idea, right?
But we're going to be talking over it anyway. It's a podcast.
Sure,
it's a podcast. Not a watch of the video of the movie together.
But the idea is that if hypothetically all of the Sifty 150 collectively on that day bought that, or whoever was listening bought it on iTunes, especially if it was in New Zealand.
Well, it's even better. Then they can watch it, and then we can do it, and they can watch us, and we can all talk about it together.
Then you would go to the top of the iTunes ranking in New Zealand, which would make it much more visible for other people to go, oh, what's this older? It looks like some sweet sex scenes in there. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Is that nudity? Oh, hello. I could do this on This is a good $5 that I'll spend on a Friday evening.
Well, yeah.
This looks like a sultry erotic thriller.
Are we selling it? I don't know if we're selling it.
No, it's a romantic drama. There is sex scenes in it though, so just if that's your thing,
That's your bag.
If
you're worried about your $5 or whatever it costs,
it'll be money well spent. Whatever
well
way
spent.
you look at it, whether you're into your romantic drama or just your sex scenes,
if you know where to look,
it'll be money well spent.
If you know where to look, you may or may not, if you pause at the exact right time, you may or may not get a shot of Guy's side shaft.
Again.
And you have to see what I was talking about with it being so monstrous. This thing is going to be on celluloid now, Millions of people are going to see it. But you have to catch the exact right frame. It's very quick, but there is a little bit of side shaft.
So the idea
Alex, dear friend of Alex Savage, his side shaft.
Alex side shaft.
Yeah.
You're derailing this conversation.
I'm sorry.
But the idea
sometimes
is
the muse just chooses to cruise through, bro.
The idea is that if we do release it on iTunes or something like that, and we can, through our sort of social media presence, get it to chart, it becomes a snowball effect where people then see it, and then those people purchase it, and then it stays like sort of high up in the rankings. And if it's high up in the rankings, it's very visible when people are thinking about movies to pick.
That's all well and good, but the big problem is that our reach, even if the Sifty 150, the help of the Sifty 150, that's a great
like
launch pad, but it's
Friday,
still not a
Friday
good
2 a.m. situation.
Well, it's probably worse. It's probably worse. It's probably even worse than that. Our reach in terms of finding people to buy a movie, part with their money. Like our reach is minuscule. We need to reach millions of people and have 1% of them buy. And we can reach thousands of people, and if we're lucky, 1% will buy. We don't make any fucking money. So
well, that's 100, right?
What?
If you could get 100 people,
yeah,
that would in New Zealand, it would certainly get it very visible on iTunes.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's good. But I feel like we need a better plan than relying on the Sifty 150 to buy it on iTunes.
Well, yeah. Well, what's that plan, Mr. Producer?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that we would need some sort of marketing budget still. We'd need, because you get a sales agent, it comes with a certain amount of marketing, right? Because they want it to
That's the problem.
Sell.
I disagree. It doesn't. And that's the issue. It didn't with the zombie film. And
they cut a trailer. There's an American trailer that has been put somewhere. In England, it's been in magazines and stuff like that. I've got pictures of magazines advertising I Survived a Zombie Holocaust.
That's a distributor.
Right.
So two different things. Now, the sales agent claims to have a marketing budget. But they never did have a marketing budget.
But you're talking about getting distributors via the aggregator.
Well, okay. So a distributor would normally sell this to iTunes and a bunch of places.
Right.
Except instead of that, we put it on iTunes. It's the same thing. We're doing the same thing that a distributor would be doing, essentially. The difference...
Yeah, but a distributor markets it.
Yeah.
Somebody was marketing it. Somebody was putting it in magazines in the UK. Somebody cut a trailer for it and put that trailer on TV and on the internet and all that type of thing.
Yes.
So there is marketing in the local regions by the local distributors, because those local distributors want to sell the product that they've paid money to have the rights to sell.
Yeah, so probably the best example would be the British. There wasn't like... Cutting a trailer in-house, that's like a very negligible, that's not really marketing. So like if you looked at America, for example, there was no marketing in America apart from that American trailer. Yeah. Like there was an American trailer which got less views than our trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. But we don't know where else it went. That trailer.
Well, it didn't go in. Oh, the trailer?
Yeah. We don't know where else that trailer was shown. So the point is that without a distributor or a sales agent, then there's zero marketing at all. So there's nobody cutting some other trailer. There's no magazine ads or anything like that. All there is whatever we do with no money. So you do lose some of that.
For sure. I just actually think,
and also some legitimacy, right? Because if you're like, hey, I'm Guy and Harley from New Zealand, and we've got a movie, hi iTunes, hi Netflix, how are you? You know, here you go. Whereas if Shoreline, an established company or whatever, or Vendetta or whoever, go to it.
No,
we're going
through a distribution aggregator. The aggregator has the street cred.
Okay.
So
does the aggregator filter? So does the aggregator filter out who can?
Yes.
Put their shit in. So we've got a pass to get in to this aggregator.
Yeah.
So the movie's got to be good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But
should have said that at the start.
Well, yeah.
It sounded like it was like sort of like
we don't give
an uploader where you put it in, you upload it to one place and then it just poops out onto iTunes and everywhere else and it goes into these places and then we go, all right, cool, but so what? Now we've got to tell everybody.
Well, it is still so what you got to tell everybody.
That's what we need the marketing money for.
You essentially they QC it, quality control it. They basically if they can't get it on there, that you don't pay them, they give you your money back basically, and they don't accept films that they don't think that they can get on that platform or on those platforms. Right. The difference is that if you'd done that through a distributor, the distributor would now be taking all of the profits, whereas now you're still retaining the profits.
Yeah.
The difference, of course, is there is that marketing issue, which is that they might, depending on the distributor and depending on the way they sold it, they might be also spending money on marketing or they might not be. We have definitely experienced both. So how much better off are we, giving away all of your rights or having a very small, modest amount of marketing?
Yeah.
Very hard to tell because...
Well, I guess what it all comes down to is whether or not my next series of harebrained schemes for publicity take off.
Harebrained publicity schemes.
If my harebrained publicity stunts take off and I get 1 million followers, that's good news for Older. That's very good news for Older.
But also it's one of those things too where it's like, if we get into a great festival, everything changes again.
Well, you do both though, because you still get into a festival, but you have 1 million followers.
But what I'm saying is like, the rules
to tell people
constantly change depending on where you end up and in what way you go. And when the NZFC goes, hey, so what are you doing with this? The answer is, well, we have to wait and see because we don't know how it's going to be received. We don't know
by the aggregator and stuff.
By the aggregator, because that's the thing. Also, like the concept that we getting a sales agent gives us a cachet is not really true. We will definitely be able to get a sales agent. We just might not be able to get a good sales agent. So we can get a sales agent that rips us off and that it really goes nowhere and it just poops out somewhere anyway. That's not the problem. The problem, is getting a good sales agent and a good distributor. And those are the kind of things that we just have at this stage no concept of, and they will depend a lot on its festival prospects. And then again, reviews, and then again, like, what are distributors looking for this? They're looking for a movie with... No, I'm not going to say anything silly.
All right, good. Don't say anything silly.
They're looking for they're looking for an indie romantic drama. Great. Well, that's what this is. So, or they're not, but it's just so but it's a very catch-22 because you're saying, well, what are our best chances of doing the best things with the film? It's it being as polished as possible when we submit it, but you need it to be accepted into these things before we can polish it and have it polished.
Yep.
So you can't polish the turd
if you don't have the money.
You can't. The turd. So the turd is at the moment just being floated out to the festivals.
Exactly.
With no polish on it.
Yeah.
Because
which is silly.
They won't give us the money to polish it. That's a bit of a catch. It's just one of those things where you just have to hope that it's polished enough.
Yeah, that they see what it
that they can
what
see
it,
the
what
potential
it can be.
with a real good shine up.
Yeah.
How great this turd's gonna look.
Don't say that. It's actually awesome. It's awesome, people, I tell you.
No, look,
I think it's going to be a big hit. Not a big hit. It's going to be just a successful film.
I think it's going to be I hope it's going to be like a low budget indie success story. But it is all about hitting your target audience and markets, and really you should be doing a lot more research about how to do those things.
Yeah.
As the producer, you should be really delving into that instead of me looking up how to do this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You know the dynamic. You know how it works. But so, anyway, we'll start to wrap it up. But I did also just want to say that when I was 15, I had my first love. Her name was, we'll call her Karen. Even though her name was actually much more beautiful than that. No offense to all the Karens listening. And she was the most beautiful girl in school, and somehow she fell into my honey trap, and we had a beautiful, innocent and sweet 5-month love, which was cruelly torn asunder when her family moved away from Dunedin to the mighty metropolis of Auckland. Well, I can report that my high school sweetheart is now married and 7 months pregnant. So
she held off for a long time.
She did. She waited for me.
She really left your hope. She really
waited.
left the door.
She was waiting for me.
Marginally ajar.
Yeah.
For the potential in your head to
some
believe.
Hope. Yeah.
That somehow things could be. Back to the way they were.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should probably just relinquish that fantasy I've been harboring of us one day meeting again and falling back in love. And this goes to show that fate's not real, and God's not real, and there's no plan, and it won't all just work out, and you are the master of your own destiny. And I failed to insert myself back into her destiny at some point in the past. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you did tell the story of how, I mean, we should recap. I'm pretty sure on this podcast, you told the story of how you met up with her and told her how you made episode. Did you meet up with her and tell her that? Okay, or did you just tell her on Facebook?
Okay,
and she
so here's
didn't respond.
Here's what happened.
Oh, yeah.
We got commissioned to make a cool pilot TV show, an original pilot TV show. This was our first big break. A big company flew us up to Auckland.
Michael Hurst directed the fucking pilot.
Michael Hurst directed the pilot.
Let's sink in for you. The
Michael
guy
Hurst,
that
he's a big deal.
Spartacus.
Yeah.
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Hercules and Xena.
Whatever. He's directing heaps of shows now.
Yeah.
Like, this was the guy bringing us to comedy greatness.
Star of the Tattooist. Or he's in it at least.
Is he?
Yeah, they've got that whole joke in the project. The tattoo artist. Star.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember.
He's in it. Anyway, so where did we get to?
Star of the stage and screen.
Michael Hurst was directing. Yep. So we came up to Auckland.
How could we lose?
And so while I was up here, when we were shooting this thing, I organised to meet with Taryn. But unfortunately, Karen, unfortunately, old Ballbags Pigden was lurking around with me. And so was Chong, one of my co-stars. So I didn't really get to be alone with her, and we all met at this mall, and this is my high school sweetheart, and at this stage I was like 27 or something, how 23 24 23 somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So 23 24, so it'd been like 8 years, and this is my first time seeing my high school sweetheart and this guy and Chong hanging out and
eating Burger King,
and anyway, that was nice. We met, it was cool, we chatted, she left, no problem. And then after our show with Michael Hurst went under, we made a web series called The Project. Basically, New Zealand's first good web series. The Project. Great stuff. Still stands up. Nick Zillardi, listener. Sifty One 50 listener. Loves it. Can't get enough. So does Kieran from Stray. Loves it. Anyway.
Award-winning
actor, yeah. Anyway, so, point is, we made this show called The Project, and in The Project, it parodied my meeting with Karen. parodied it, and in it I made a much bigger dick of myself, and I'm saying all this stuff, and I've got like sweaty armpits, and we reenacted it with an actor, with a separate woman, which was Guy's ex-girlfriend, and
You sniffed her.
and I sniffed her, and there was all this stuff talking about my erection, and it's funny stuff, hilarious stuff. It's on the internet. It's fucking genius. And I thought that I would be able to
great idea
send that to her.
Send that to your real
ex, the person that we're
You're
essentially parodying.
You thought it would be a good idea to send that to her
Unexpectedly.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue, yeah.
She'd send you once in 8 years. The second ever thing she ever fucking hears from you is this weird parody of her that you dedicated a whole fucking episode to, where you are
sniffing her and talking about like intimate sexual relations.
You thought this would be a good idea in your infinite wisdom. You thought she'd get it. You thought she'd just
to be
get
honest, to be really honest, I did think she would get it. I thought she'd get it. It's a mockumentary. It's a show. It's a joke. It's hilarious. If I met with an ex of mine and then later on she sent me a video like that, because we don't make her look bad.
No.
You know, like the show isn't like taking the piss out of her at all. It's only taking the piss out of me all the way through.
Yes.
And if my ex sent me a link where they had portrayed a character of me in a funny show where they're taking the piss out of themselves, I'd be like, what a fucking legend. So evidently she didn't think that way because she kind of I can't remember. I think maybe she didn't really respond, or maybe she didn't. I can't remember exactly what happened with the messaging, but some time later, when I finally moved to Auckland, I messaged her and I said, hey, so would you like to meet up for a coffee? It'd be crazy to catch up after all these years, eh? And she was like, yeah, look, our mutual friend's having her birthday in like 6 months, and I'm going to be there, so I'll just see you at that event, hey? I'll just see you there.
I'll maybe see you in half a year.
And then 6 months later, when I went to this birthday party, she didn't go. She didn't go. And then, so the only time I got to see her, the only time I saw her since high school, I saw her one time. Apart from that one meeting with you and Chong hanging out, I saw her one other time, which was I was sitting with Angie. The other year, and we were sitting sort of in the CBD in Auckland drinking some tea, and I saw her, and she walked up this alleyway that we were sort of sitting near, and walked past me quite a few meters away, and I saw her, but she didn't see me until like the very end, just before she went out of eye line type thing. So she looked at the last minute, and we made like a brief second of eye contact, but whether or not she would have realized or not, I don't know. And I was with Angie, obviously, so I wasn't going to go like chasing after her and go like, hey, how have you been? What have you been up to? This is Angie. Angie, this is my puppy love. This is my high school sweetheart.
I mean, it might have at least established a higher level of normalcy to you as a human being.
If we had spoken. Yeah, for sure. Not making me seem like a fucking weirdo. Yeah, and also I'm sitting there with a beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I do hope that she recognized me. I think she did. I think she did.
But she wouldn't have believed that girl was with you.
I'll have you know, she's a Facebook friend, so she would have known, unless she has blocked my feed, which is possible.
Which is super likely.
Super likely with the shit that I post.
There's so many people have muted you. So many.
Nah, my popularity is growing on
All
Facebook.
I hear
Facebook is blowing up, man.
I hear a lot of feedback of people wanting to mute you. Or have muted you. But
don't tell me that.
That was funny.
I put a lot of work into this stuff, man.
It's just that
I'm trying to build this social media empire. It's important.
I think I also bumped into her one time, at another time separate to those occasions. So I was like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" And we had a little chat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just imagining that.
Well, it seems like you'd know some more details.
Well, I'm pretty sure I just randomly saw her walking down the street, and I was like, "Hey," and she was like, "Hey," and we just had a very brief chat.
Yeah.
But So she's been lost to Father Time.
Matrimony and
7 months pregnant. Man, she held off for a good long time, man.
She did. Yep.
She held off for a good long time, but that one's down the gurgler.
I missed the boat. The boat sailed on that one.
The boat the boat sailed when you send her that parody. Is when it truly sailed for good.
Yeah, no, the boat, yeah.
Well, there's always your other ex, though.
My other ex?
Yeah. The one, can we say her name or no?
Well, I don't know
one that you were with for a long time in Wellington?
Oh, and Dunedin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my other ex, a very long-term ex that I met in Dunedin, and also she moved to Wellington for a while with me. She is also, like in a very long-term, happy and committed relationship.
I thought she just got out of it.
No, long-term, happy, committed relationship as far as I can see. So
right. She hasn't had kids yet.
Yeah, she hasn't, but I'm 35. I think it's curtains for me. I think it's curtains for me romantically, in terms of. But the other day my mum was like, so what about some grandkids? And I was like, when? I don't even have a girlfriend. And like...
I do say that quite often.
It's not the type of thing you got to rush, is it? You can't rush it.
Well, that's the thing. I'm always like, well, I've got to maintain a relationship first.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's been the real trick.
Yeah.
The real trick is maintaining a relationship before you get into those sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, well, exactly. You need a good couple of year relationship, at least. And I'm currently single, so and the older I get, the worse it'll be.
Nah, you're gonna be like Bruce Willis, I reckon.
Yeah, well, to be honest, that's totally my plan. I'll be like 45, and I'll just get like a 25-year-old girlfriend and have some kids, and 25-year-old wife rather, and have some kids.
Yeah.
Where you go.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's very easy to say that, but unless we become successful, the chances are pretty fucking slim.
There's the thing.
I'm on the cusp.
That's true. I guess this is the issue, right?
From here, it's all downhill.
After a certain point, you're really swinging for the fences.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just, you really got to hit those home runs. Like if that ball comes your way, you got to smash it out of the park.
Yeah.
Because the next time,
because there's not that many balls coming your way anymore.
The next time something's served,
you used to have balls all over you. They're coming here all the time.
It'll be 2 years before another one's lobbed up to you like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be longer.
Yeah. Well, you said the other day that you were like, what'd you say? Did you say that? Yeah. Well, the boat really sailed with Angie. Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah.
The other day, you said you really...
remember.
Yeah, we were getting out of the car.
Oh, yeah, that's what I did say that, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, you really missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's not here.
Yeah.
And you didn't wife her up.
No.
When you maybe had the opportunity to.
Yeah, maybe. Shout out Angie if she's listening.
Shout out to Angie.
She does listen sometimes.
Shout out to Angie.
Sneaky Sifty 150 listener, Angie.
Could have got a bit serious. Could have put a ring on it. Could have promised her,
If she liked it, then she could have put a ring on it.
Yeah,
if she liked it, then she could have put a
promised her the
ring on it.
moon and stars, and you didn't really do any of those things.
Well, I promised her the moon and the stars, probably. But I didn't.
But with no actual commitment.
Didn't marry her. So, yeah, the boat sailed on that one. Drifted away with my heart.
Yeah. But look, you never know when romance is going to blossom around the corner. Bumble has changed the game for us.
Yeah, but right now, I'm single. Okay, as I've mentioned several times, and
per podcast, several times per podcast.
And the thing is that Bumble for me, I'm not too interested at the moment. So that's the problem. Not too interested. It's just sounds like a lot of work. Like there's currently zero romantic, connections in my life at the moment. But and like there's Bumble. Bumble's sitting right there. It's in my pocket. But if I'm reaching into my pocket, I'm not playing with that, And so I just hang around the house. I'm all good. So I'm like, fuck it, why go on Bumble all the time? And
But
so
this is, yeah, okay.
you know, it's just a lot of work, and then you get the matching. And honestly, I got a couple here actually, a couple of quick messages.
Okay.
So this is a couple of opening messages that I'd just like to quickly read
Okay.
on Bumble.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm just opening the app.
Couple of openers here.
Yeah. So
Biz Bumble.
buzz on Bumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So we've got one from Ange. Okay, a
Mhm.
beautiful Chinese woman.
Uh-huh.
Her message is, "Hi."
Mm-hmm. What's your reply to that?
Oh, a bunch of bullshit. All right. Next one, Sarah. Hey.
Uh-huh.
My response, "Hey." Full
Okay.
stop.
Oh, yeah.
In a passive aggressive
Yeah.
way. And so they continue. That one was actually decent. And then Joanne, hi. You know, and so it just continues. And basically, they're not even trying. They're not even trying. And so they're not. They
would fucking just start with the. But this is the
yeah,
problem.
but they want to get a bit of the nevs, and they're coming at me with, hey.
Look,
you know,
the
like,
nevs
come on, ladies.
the nevs.
It's not so easy, is it?
The
To
ne-
be witty and funny in one message without
that's the
being sleazy. The
No-
shoe is on the other foot.
There's no point in doing that for the first message because all they're thinking, right, and this is what you're thinking when it's the converse, right, is that whatever you say, like if you do plan out this amazing message and blah blah blah, and you just get no response, that's 5 billion times worse. So you need the feedback to know this person isn't just about to ghost you, because they've looked at your picture and like, oh nah, fuck that. Then it's time. So you really have to tell me what are the next messages from these girls.
Well, no, we that's the thing. We have nice chats usually. Like normally it's like perfectly nice chats, bit of banter. I had one the other day where we basically just had. She deleted me, so I can't read it back. Unfortunately,
You had a great time. You had such a great time. She deleted you.
But
The Nevs was fucking deleted.
smooth motherfucker.
If you want to come up the Nevs, best not be deleted them.
Yeah, no. So she deleted me. And it was like she messaged me, and then we had some. No, I can't find it. We had like some nice banter. Like it was we talked about like a wee bit about like the filmmaking and shit like that. But then but she was kind of like there's a lot of animosity kind of like straight away. I was just like she was just not that interested and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was like, well, why the fuck did you even like match with me if you're not really interested? And she wasn't really believing anything I said. And then I said something. She goes, I said about I was in my filmmaking. She said something about she was interested in something like filmmaking as well, and I was like, okay, well, this might be a big break. And then she was like, do you use that on everyone? You know, like, you dick, you know.
Well,
and I was
wasn't, but you did sound like a dick.
no, but it was through a big conversation, you know what I mean? Like,
Did
it
you
was
give a
not- it
smiley
wasn't-
face and a
probably,
winky face?
I don't know, probably this was like, you know, in a conversation.
Sounded like
But
the Nevs being too arrogant there
but
got
she-
caught out.
Well, she's like, do you say that to everyone? And it was like, no, I don't talk to everybody about this particular
no, I don't
topic.
talk to any woman.
Exactly.
Generally. So actually, that's the first time that's even occurred to me.
Yeah, and so yeah, old Bumble.
But I will say it is the law of diminishing returns right now.
Yeah,
And this is I think this is something that we need to remember. Not me, because I have a girlfriend. I'm very happy.
yeah,
But what you need to remember right now is that every day that you do nothing and sit here and go, I'm cool, I'm fucking cool, is a day that you will punch yourself in the face
yeah.
later on
For
when no one gives a fuck
Yeah.
and no one wants to date you
Yeah.
except old,
gross people,
yeah,
my
haggard
own, my
old
own
people.
people, my
haggard
own
old
age.
people your own age.
Yeah.
So like this is the thing is like every day that goes by, like to now it doesn't seem
Sorry.
important. Now it's like, oh, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm just cool chilling in my room, vaping away.
You're right.
But there will come a point, and you're close to this tipping point. I don't know where it is, but you're actually kind of close to it, where you're gonna get on the other side of that, and you're gonna go,
Whoa.
I wish that I had all these people bumbling me. I wish that someone would open a conversation with hi. I just wish someone would do that right now because
Maybe.
no one is fucking doing it and I'm fucked.
Yeah. Well, look, you might be right. But I am relying on the same thing I've relied on my entire life.
But that doesn't work when you get older.
Which is the idea that at some point
you get
I'm
famous.
going to blow up.
Oh, yeah, okay,
I'm going to blow up.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll be 50
no,
years
that's all
old.
right.
I'll be fat with a hairy back,
Yeah.
and I'll have a beautiful 25-year-old wife. Because I'm a big famous movie star.
Okay,
I'm a fucking producer.
No, that's totally
You know?
fine. No, I'm with you now.
Well, exactly. So what's the fucking problem?
I thought you were just gonna say I don't know where you were going.
No, I was just I wasn't really going anywhere.
No, if you're banking on your success, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm banking on my success mostly. Although I don't even look at the pictures on Bumble anymore. All I do, what I do nowadays is I just do the helicopter with my penis in an anti-clockwise direction, and just put my phone underneath. And then for any lady listeners out there, the helicopter is when you grab your penis by the base and begin spinning it in a circular motion like the rotors of a helicopter. Well, that's what I do with my phone underneath it now, and just right swipe, all these poor young souls looking for love into oblivion.
What's your age cap on there?
About my age.
Are you sure about that?
No, it is. It's about my age.
So what you're saying is about your age. You actually mean it's younger than you.
Well, hang on.
Your age limit is younger than you fucking are. That's what you put your age limit. Sorry, if you're my age, fuck off.
Well, if you're
See
older.
you later.
Well, so that's the thing. Like I think I just had 34 because I was 34 when I signed up.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm 35, so I don't know if
You've kept it 34.
Well, I didn't, not on purpose. I didn't really just thought about it just right now, but it's probably still 34 now. But yeah, basically, my age or younger is really what I'm sort of thinking. But I mean, you can't be too picky, right? Just see what happens.
Yeah.
but yeah. So yeah. Bumble. Just right swipe with reckless abandon and just see what happens.
I've got a question.
Well,
why wouldn't you just use your fucking hand?
Well, I do.
To do all that right swipe.
No, I do when I'm in public. It's actually, you're right. I shouldn't be doing the helicopter so often because with us bigger boys, you can actually get a little bit of lift if you swing too hard, So you're right, guy. I probably shouldn't be doing the helicopter so much. It's actually dangerous.
You should be using your phone the way it was intended.
Yeah. Well, I do in public. So that's good.
I told my girlfriend that I was going live. She likes to listen to the podcast live.
Yeah.
No feedback on this one.
Right. Yeah.
No,
normally
Normally she'll give a few tidbits here and there.
Yeah.
Not been forthcoming with any commentary today.
Yeah.
So shout out to my beautiful girlfriend.
She's just too entertained. She's entertained.
She's in tears. She's laughing so hard.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I did just want to say that I posted my Lime Scooter referral code on the Dunedin News Facebook page because they've just launched Lime Scooters in Dunedin.
Yep.
And as a result, I've gotten $65 worth of Lime Scooter unlock credit for myself. Okay? Every day I'm hustling. Operation GoPro.
Yeah.
All right?
That's good. You need to apply that to Operation promoting older now.
Well, I promote the shit out of older.
Instead of getting your discount Lime Scooters, you need
you
need to apply that.
No, here's what we
savvy.
need. What we need is a fucking new bloody trailer. Something else fresh to share about it because it's just nothing to share. It's all shared out. I fucking shared the shit out of that for fucking 6 years, that fucking trailer. And then also there's all the behind the scenes shit. I shared the shit out of that for ages as well. And then that's really all we've got aside from like some photos, and it's like, oh, let's get out some dusty old photos. Who gives a shit? Like we need something new, something fresh. So that is going to be a problem. Well, it's something we're going to need. We're going to need some fresh marketing material when it comes time to release that puppy if we're doing it ourselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, cut a new trailer for sure.
Yeah, well, you'd have to.
Not looking forward to that.
No, well, you put all the good bits in the first trailer.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so...
So where do you go?
So where do you go from there? Look, the thing is, it's 5 years later, so I actually reckon you can probably almost get away with still kind of maybe stealing some bits from there and stealing the mood of it and all that shit.
Yeah.
Because basically it's just something fresh to show people.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully more people. A lot of people have seen the original one, like hundreds of thousands of people. Maybe 500,000 people have seen the original trailer for Older, which you can find on YouTube by searching or Older the movie. YouTube, Older the movie trailer on YouTube, you should find it, or Pigville, Older the movie trailer, something like that. Anyway, it's got like 500,000 views, but I think that this new one could potentially get a lot more views than that because we are a lot more established now than we were when we released that trailer. Because when we released that trailer, I Survived a Zombie Holocaust hadn't even come out yet.
That's true.
Well, I think it was before I Survived a Zombie Holocaust came out.
No, it hadn't come out.
Yeah,
Right.
and so you know nobody gave a shit. If we think people don't give a shit now, they really didn't give a shit then. And so we're much bigger fish in this pond now. Still not very big fish, but much bigger. And so hopefully we're able to get 1 million views on that puppy.
Well,
especially if we use that side shaft screen grab, I'll use that.
Well, yeah. Then I'll have to put that in.
Did you take it out?
Well, no. To be honest, we can't.
Oh, you mean in the trailer? In the trailer, but you can't use probably nudity and stuff.
Yeah, there's too much nudity in that.
Yeah. Well, it has been flagged. The current trailer has been flagged.
Oh, has it?
On YouTube? Yeah. So it's like you got to sign in to watch it because of the sex. Yeah.
Well, that's actually one of the things. So for iTunes and all that, you have to have a PG or G trailer.
Right.
So like that's one of the requirements for a lot of distributors now.
Yeah.
Or it's like it can't, but so you can't put anything salacious.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because they want to be able to play the trailers in front of random YouTube videos without worrying about showing titties to kids. Because kids are only allowed to see titties when they're a toddler and below and they're feeding on titties, or when they're over 18. But there's a strict 16-year no titty ban for young humans.
I do feel
for young Homo sapiens.
Well, and online, but I feel like they're only, like, how do you? Because that's quite an important part of the movie.
Well, you just don't show any actual sex. You just show them, like looking at each other, and then cut to like a candle. The old cut to a candle.
But that doesn't imply that there's anything more
particularly raunchy, you mean?
Yeah.
Right, because you want to work up the raunchy angle.
Well, you just want to say like, hey man, this is like, this is real, bruh.
Yeah. Well, what you'd have to do would be use some
real players, no games.
You might get some provocative provocative shots that maybe don't really show anything still. They're just like hints of what's going on with maybe like a little bit of sound design, so it's like something a little
zip,
something a little bit sexy sounding.
Boing.
Yeah, boing. That's it.
Just a pair of pants unzipping and a boing.
Yeah. Well, there you
That'll
go.
Do it.
You heard it here on the show first, people. That's what we're gonna do. And so anyway, some sound design and some like shots of like feet moving through sheets and that type of thing. To really get that across, and then maybe get like a cucumber and a jar of mayonnaise and jam it in there a bunch of times, gonna pop it in and out
like a cutaway.
Yeah, no. Well, I more just meant for the sound effect, for the sound design.
All right.
But yeah, I guess if you wanted to do a cutaway, but that'd be weird because it's not in the movie. But just for the sound design, this so jam the cucumber into the jar of mayonnaise and kind of just put that in there in the sound design.
It sounds like we've got a
then it'll be raunchy.
We've got a real winning trailer on our hands. We've just conceived of a really winning trailer for this film. It's really going to go places.
All right, so on that note, thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to see me prolapsing, go to OnlyFans and become subscribe to my private news feed. I've got 7 followers now, 7 $5 a month followers. I've been putting on my Operation GoPro. Anu, shout out to Anu. She particularly asked for an update on Operation GoPro, and specifically, and basically, I quit my job to pursue my dreams in the entertainment industry, and within 6 months, I was a cam girl. And so that's the update on Operation GoPro. But if you'd like to support me, go to onlyfans.com and search for Harley Neville or Hairy Navel, and $5 a month, and you're there. Shout out to Idan is Bad, who's just caught the end of the show. Shout out to him. And also the other person what was I saying? Was gonna...
Shout out to
No. OnlyFans, and then and so find us on Facebook, and you go and see all that side shaft and stuff of guys, which is facebook.com/Guy and Harley, and make sure you hit like and subscribe and follow and all of that stuff because we love that shit. Thank you very much.
See you later.
See you later.
It's a casual 2-hour one. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's good.
That'll keep him occupied.
Save that. That is a good 2 hours. And hello to Idan is bad timing, mate. Bad timing, buddy. You showed up just at the wrong time. But we are happy to see you here. And shout out to Godzilla NZ as well. And who else we got? We've got three other people out there. Who are you dudes? This is the show after the show. This is the aftermath, I guess. After, I feel like I thought up a witty name for this show, for the after show, but I won't. Maybe I was just thinking about the pre-cum show, which is the stuff before the show, before the actual podcast begins. Cool. Well, if nobody's got any questions, then we'll see you dudes in episode 134.